like had that problem. Like I've had a drop in views. Like my views haven't been, my followers. Cool. Yeah. So everyone knows who Adam Muzeri is. Head of Instagram. Yes. So
if you are not following him, please go and follow him. He has updates every day.
Yeah,
every single day. Too much.
Yeah. So every single day he gives updates, and the one. Okay, guys, but you have to listen though. The first one is, I think a few weeks back he did speak about. It was a month or so back. He was speaking about the decline in distribution. Initially, what had happened is we were recommending like smaller accounts because that's the business wanted to give wanted to give the platform to emerging creators. And so if you saw quite a bit, like you'd scroll up quite a bit and you'd see a lot of content being recommended to you from accounts you didn't naturally follow. And so that's been dialed back quite a bit. And so now you should be actually getting, when you post a video, the people who follow you should be seeing it more often. But the other things to keep into mind, like when you post a video, does it follow like all the best practices? Like, I know quite a few people who ask me this question, usually say, my views have gone down, and then when I see the content they post, it's sometimes photos. And that's not necessarily to say we're not a photo app anymore, but the first priority currently is Reels. That's almost like a surefire way to get, views, because it's also like unconnected distribution. If you post something like a photo, it's most likely going to your connected network, so it's people who are following you. If it's a reel, it's it's unconnected. But I like something Adam Muzeri said last week as well, because he was at Creator Week, and I think it's something creators have to hear like more of. Like, no one can guarantee you like distribution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't, and I think because it's the question I get asked the most. There's no button like I can turn on that'll make sure you go from 1,000 views to 10,000. And it's always quite surprising to to creators sometimes when they're like, could you please have a look at my account? Like, why are my views down? And I'm like, I don't know, because there are multiple number of factors. It could be the content quality, it could be the type of content you're producing. But I think the thing to remember quite right now is sort of like your best bet is sort of Reels. The shorter videos like tend to do well, so 15 seconds and below. If it's using trending, sort of audio, trending content, like that, sort of like where the app is going. Short form, mobile video content, and then just play around. But if you're following our best practices, that's sort of like the best bet you have, like at getting seen.
Okay, thanks for sharing. I think another question would be, can we, because I know this monetization we're talking about, are we talking about it on Facebook or we're talking about it on Instagram? So can creators monetize content on Instagram? If yes, how do we go about it?
So on Instagram currently, like you can't monetize the same way you would, like on Facebook. And I think Natalie spoke about it as well. Like so we don't have, at least in Africa, no in-stream ads or stuff like that. Usually how creators monetize is branded content. So they work with brands. I know their badges as well. So for example, like if you go live, you can buy badge stars. And they can purchase those. So things are slowly rolling out. I know just over in other regions as well, they have the Reels bonus program, which is essentially like what you get paid the more you create. There's sort of like a payout, and so in the future we'll introduce stuff like that. But right now I think it's like branded content and sort of stuff like stars and badges. Those are sort of your best bet right now.
Okay.
Natalie, did I forget anything on Instagram?
Just to make everything clear, for the Reels bonus, because everyone asked about this, they are in testing in the US. We are coming to the UK next, and the other country will be basically 2024. So not any changes.
Wow.
Wow.
You'll get here. So that's how marketplace was. Like, when will you get here? When will you get here? Here now. Okay, what are the verification? And I know we've talked about this, but just so if you lie down and think about it, to say, what are the top 3 things or 4 things that I need to do, or the requirements to get my page verified?
Okay, cool. I think Nada spoke about this as well, but it's just, I think it bears repeating. I think, like she said, like verification was also like functional. You know what I mean? It's like she said as well, like we used to have, accounts where maybe Kim Kardashian starts an account or Burna Boy starts an account, and there needed to be a distinction about whose account is, sort of like real or not. And so, like she said, there are no like sort of special, it's not like if you're verified, you're definitely going to get more views. I think, yeah, to most creators it's a ceremonial thing, you know what I mean? You want that badge that says, you know, Instagram had a look at you and, you know, they verified you and you're notable. And that's fine. But a few things to consider, like there is no way to sort of like pay for verification. I usually say that quite a bit because I've had creators even ask me, like, okay, but can I pay you? And the answer is always no. Like, you can't pay me, you can't pay anyone internally. I think, like Nada said, even if you were to find someone, we usually find that, you know, it was through the back door and then it's gonna get taken away. Now you spent like $1,000 and, you know, you're not even verified anymore. Like she said, it's notability. The things she said, like, you need to have, so they need to see that you are a notable account. People need to be searching for you. It has to, usually they ask for, I think it's between 3 to 6, like news articles about you. They have to have been published within the last 6 months. So you can't send us something, you know, that was published like 2 years ago. It has to be like a bona fide, you know, a bona fide newspaper or, you know, online platform. So I know people ask that as well, like send me some links about the coverage. And they'll send me something like, you know, a blog post from a very small blog, you know, that doesn't work as well. Like it has to be like a certified, reputable news source, between 3 to 6 articles, and then, you know, published within the last 6 months. I think Nada mentioned it as well. The article has to be about you. Like it can't be like a fleeting reference, as in like, okay, there was a meta created here, and then Rolf so happened to, you know, give a quote. You know, the article has to be either a profile or, you know, just, but the article has to be about you. You have to be the subject of the article. That's the bold and honest truth. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing above that. Like, even if sometimes when creators come to me and say, you know, can you get me verified? What I usually say is like, send me the articles, you know, I'm sending it to the, you know, to the same sort of like center that you're sending it to. It's just that they'll happen to see mine earlier because I'm an employee. So it's not as if, you know, I'm responsible for getting you verified. If you were to ever send me an email and you send me all of those things and you didn't get verified, you know, they usually say, you know, you're not notable enough or whatever. But yeah, that's just, I think, you know, I've labored the point quite a bit, but those are it. You can't pay for verification. You need to be notable. And yeah, there's no special sort of thing like anyone can do to get you verified. The rules are the rules.
Right. So one last one. When I post a video, hey, Jeff is here. So when I posted, yes, it is. When I post a video, and for some videos, I get so many views. For some videos, I just don't get views. Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah, like I said, like that's also another question. Like I said, we can't guarantee, we can give you best practices, but you can't guarantee that a video is always going to do well. Because, you know, like for example, like.
So what should they do better?
No, that's what I'm getting to. So best practices, like, I mean, just make sure, you know, you're using trending sounds, trending content. If you're not that kind of creator, just make sure your videos are as short as possible. You know, you're using audio from our libraries. It's clear, it's not low blurry, it's not resolution. The thing I wanted to say is, you know, think about it, you know, on your end as well. Before you're a creator, I'd like to think all of you are consumers as well. Like, you have people that you follow, you don't like every single video they post, no matter how good they are. And that's the point I'm getting to. Like, we can't account for user behavior. At the end of the day, you can, you know, follow all the best practices. You can have a look at your analytics and see what time you can post. But that last sort of piece of user behavior, getting someone to like or comment, we don't control it. People could look at your video and like it, as in like they like it, but they don't physically like it. And so we can't account for that. So follow the best practices. Have a look at your analytics to see, you know, what your user, your demographic is, when they're usually online, and that should guide like when you can post. So give yourself the best, you know, possible, you know, chance to get some trending content.